crying. Out of Abraham, who did the Lord say, tell Abraham who the chosen people would be? Yes, the Jews. Right. Which come out of whose seed? Isaac. Oh, okay, good. Very good. So, all right. 147:19, Psalms. Who has that? Go ahead.
The book of Psalms, chapter 147, verse 19. He showeth his words unto Jacob.
He showed his word, see, Jacob again, the father of the 12 tribes of Israel. He showed his word to Jacob. Go ahead.
His statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
See? So now he's clarifying it. Jacob, the forefather, and now he says Israel because he changed Jacob's name from Jacob to Israel. See? So that people say, okay, that was only to Jacob. He only showed it to Jacob. That was it. Now he clarified. He said, I showed my law and statute to Israel. See, the whole nation. See? The only one nation. He's going to tell you that. Go ahead, Chanel.
Verse 20. He hath not dealt so.
He had not dealt so. Go ahead.
With any nation.
No other nation. Now you see why they hate you? Now you see why they can kill you? They want to kill you. Dr. Sebi, you know what I'm saying? Tupac, Biggie Smalls.
Like King Abel.
You know, Whitney Houston, Prince. And now you see why they're killing you?
Yeah.
See? Or they destroy your career, they destroy you. Now you see why they're killing you in the streets? The police pretty much got a license to kill you. And they're killing the black man as well as the black woman now. The black woman, they're shooting down. The black man, they're shooting down in the streets. And the thing is, it's going on every day. You know, some of them they put on nationwide news, but the ones you don't hear about, go on Facebook, you know what I'm saying? Just Google it, look it up, and you see that it's probably a few thousand every day is killed like that. You're just not hearing about it. It's not nationwide news, but it's every day. Okay? Understand? So, why? Because you are what? You are that nation. You're that chosen nation. So, Most High didn't deal that way with any other nation. See? Understand? Yeah.
Right, they try the best for me to that.
Yeah.
Say that, try to accuse me of being in the corner when I wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you didn't act accordingly or act right, you know, they would have had you on the ground, putting their knee in your back,
Right.
everything. Probably would have stun gunned you, or maybe they probably would have took out that gun and shot you.
And there was not even
They did it to the other one, right? What's his name? Shot him point blank range on the ground. Alton, what's his name? No, not Freddie Gray, the other one. Just that. Sterling, yeah. Right? Point blank range. On the ground. You had him on the ground. There's nothing you could do. But still, see? So these are, you know, the Most High has shown us that, you know, we got to wake up and come together. But these things are going to continue. So they tell our people to wake up as a people and realize we got to return back to the Most High. He said these things would happen, brother. All right? They happen. All right? So that was that. Get Psalms 89 and 3. And someone get Isaiah 24 and 5.
24 and 5.
Yeah, Isaiah 24 and 5. But get Psalms 89 and 3. Who has it? Go ahead, Chanel.
The book of Psalms, chapter 89, verse 3. I have made a covenant with my chosen.
See? I have made a covenant with my chosen. See? Covenant. The book of the covenant. Go ahead.
I have sworn unto David, my servant.
See? He's sworn. Can the Most High swear? Yes. The Most High can swear too. I'm swearing by you, David. See? I'm making a covenant with you, David. Understand? And what is the Most High going to swear? How he going to swear? What's he going to say, David? Read the 4th verse.
Verse 4. Thy seed will I establish forever.
See, he's swearing to David that he's going to establish the house of David, the nation of Israel, forever. The Most High don't break his promises. You don't break his promise. It's going to happen. We just got to be diligent enough and endure. Understand? And even if you die, you're coming back. You're still going to see it. Understand? You're coming back. So he said, thy seed, David. He's telling David, thy seed, I will establish your seed forever, David. See? Just watch and see. Okay, go ahead.
Thy seed will I establish forever, and build up thy throne to all generations.
Yes, see, to all the generations. Build thy throne to all generations. How about that? That throne of David, which the Mashiach is going to sit on, the throne of David. All right? And David is going to be a servant for Yahushua. Come? He's going to be a servant for Yahushua. Okay? That throne of David is going to be the Mashiach Yahushua. He's going to sit on that throne in the kingdom of heaven. Right. It's coming. Okay, now go down to the 20th verse, yeah.
Verse 20. I have found David, my servant, with my holy oil.
I found David, my servant, with my holy oil, right? He did what? What did he do?
Have I anointed him?
He anointed him. Who the Messiah said would come through David's seed? The Mashiach Yahushua would come through David's seed. See? So he had found David, right, his servant. Go ahead and read 21st verse.
With whom my hand shall be established.
See? With whom his hand, who's the Most High's hand? Yeah, the Yahushua. He said, I will establish my hand through David. That's why we read Psalms 132:11. It says, David said what? That the Lord showed him, I will come through thy loins and establish the kingdom of heaven. See? So all this about the immaculate conception, all that's a bunch of bull crap. He had to come through because the promise was made. He had to come through David's lineage. The promise was already made. All right? No immaculate conception, brother. Okay? The promise was already made. He's going to come through the seed of man, of David. Seed. See? Not immaculate conception. Seed. Sperm. Copulation of seed. See? Understand? So, go ahead, Senor.
With whom my hand shall be established, my arm also shall strengthen him.
See, his arm shall strengthen him. The Mashiach, go ahead.
The enemy shall not exact upon him, nor the son of wickedness afflict him. I will beat down his foes before his face, and plague them that hate him. But my faithfulness and my mercy shall be with him. In my name shall his horn be exalted.
Yeah, see? All these promises and covenants, and Moses swore this. He don't break his promise. Now when you jump down to the 33rd verse, see? Read the 33rd verse.
Verse 33. Nevertheless, my loving kindness will I not utterly take from
Well,
him.
I'll tell you what, read the 30th verse.
Verse 30. If his children forsake my law and walk not in my judgment.
See? That's his children. That's talking about us, right? We're his children. Go ahead.
They break my statutes and keep not my commandments.
That's what happened. Go ahead.
Then will I visit their transgression
And that's what happened, right? Go ahead.
with the rod, and their iniquity with stripes.
That's captivity, slavery, stripes. See? Last night, first fight, ghettos, slums, right? The police shooting you down in the streets, right? Your children, fatherless children, no fathers to raise them. See? Single parent homes. See? This is all punishment. Understand? Welfare, food stamps, all that. See? This is the stripes from the Most High. Okay, go ahead, Doc.
Nevertheless, my loving kindness will I not utterly take from him, nor suffer my faithfulness to fail.
Right. Even though we broke the commandments, Moses says he will still, his faithfulness and his loving kindness will still be with the nation of Israel. See? So whenever somebody's try to tell you that the Most High is not with the black man anymore, and not with our people, read these scriptures to them. Most High says, nevertheless, my loving kindness I will not only take from them. See? See? Nor suffer my faithfulness to fail. His faithfulness meaning what? What he swore by, he swore this. See, remember in the beginning he said he swore. See? It was like an oath to David. He was saying this. Okay, go ahead,
Verse 34. My covenant will I not break.
My covenant I will not break. See, the Most High don't break his covenant. We broke the covenant. The Most High didn't break his. We broke it. Go ahead,
Nor alter the thing that is gone out of my
The
lips.
Most High is not going to offer it. Brother, the redemption of Israel is not. It's going to happen. You just got to be faithful. It's going to happen. Because the Most High said it. That's it. Go ahead.
Once have I sworn by my holiness that I will not lie unto
I
David.
won't even lie to David. So the Most High said, I told him this, and it's going to happen. Now, but see, David, remember, David was faithful. So David had to have enough faith when he heard this, that he knew it was going to happen way in the future. David knew it was going to happen right then and there. He knew it was going to happen way in the future, because David seen the visions of what was going to happen to us. David seen all that. Moses seen it, David seen it, Joshua, they all seen it. What was going to happen to us. So David knew this was a future prophecy. But he knew it was going to be reestablished. Understand? The Most High said, I will not lie to David. Go ahead,
Verse 36. Verse 35. Once have I sworn by my holiness that I will not lie unto David. His seed shall endure forever, and his throne as the sun before me.
See? So his seed shall what? Endure forever. See? We're going to come back, brother. We're going to be redeemed on top of the whole earth. See? In Yahweh Shai. Because of these promises the Most High made. See? Now that was a covenant, wasn't it? Right. Yeah, that was a covenant. See? But the Most High said he don't break his covenants. We broke ours. In Isaiah 24 and 5, who has that?
Right.
Read that. Isaiah 24 and 5.
Isaiah chapter 24, verse 5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof.
The earth is defiled. Of course, the inhabitants are defiled in the earth. Go ahead.
Because they have transgressed the law.
We transgressed the commandment, brother. Go ahead.
Changed the ordinance.
We even changed the ordinances. See? Go ahead.
Broken the everlasting covenant.
And we've broken the everlasting covenant. Right? We just read that. Exodus 24. Come. So we broke the everlasting covenant. Now, just jump to Isaiah 28:15. Real quick. Then we'll go into the New Testament to show you the difference or the same quality of what a covenant and a testament has. All right? Isaiah 28:15 first. And this is what our people say, right? Go ahead, read that.
Isaiah chapter 28, verse 15. Because ye have said.
We said this, right?
Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death.
See, so instead of keeping the covenant of the Most High, law, statutes, and commandments, we're going to make a covenant with death. The death is what? What's out there in the world. Our people make covenants to keep death. You keep religions, you keep philosophies, you keep politics, you keep idol worship, you keep the holidays of the world, you keep the homosexual movement going, understand, and so on and so forth. See? You keep the traditions of man going, that's a covenant of death. You will die, ultimately. Understand? The dietary law, you did away with that commandment, now you're eating all kinds of crap, and now you're dying. See? You're making a covenant with death. Understand? So go ahead,
We have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement.
They're in agreement with hell. So when you do those things, you've made an agreement with hell. Isn't that something? Make an agreement with hell. I mean, look at our people, man. Our people look like demons, huh? You know? You know, they look like demons. You got our people that don't want to be dark-skinned anymore. They're lightening their skin. So now, instead of being, instead of being dark-skinned, now they're all pale-looking, taking the pigmentation out of their skin. They look like demons. They're getting plastic surgery just like, other nations are doing, white man, right? And they look even worse, like a bunch of walking demons. Understand? That's how Michael Jackson looked, like a walking ghost. You saying? Yeah, like a walking ghost, huh? Even the white man don't want to look like Michael Jackson. I'm serious. Ain't nobody want to look like that. Now you got Lil' Kim doing that crap. You got, you know what I'm saying? You got a lot more people doing that crap. Because the traditions of man. See? So they're in agreement with hell. See? And so the same thing when you go into religions and politics and all that, you make the Black Lives Matter movement, that's politics. That's bull. That's nothing. Alright? They say, what's the Edomite named George Soros, a billionaire? They say he started that group. Okay, whatever, yeah, they say he helped start that group, whatever. But still, Esau's behind it. Right? So black, and I hear that all homosexual, sound like a homosexual, who's over it, that black dude, whatever his name is. So, listen to him talk. You know what I'm saying? So, it's all bull crap. Okay? So, we got to come together, man, and keep the covenant of the Most High. Finish reading that up.
When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us, for we have made lies our refuge.
They made lies their refuge. How about they hide behind lies, and they want to do it. This is not where they don't want to do it. They want to hide behind lies. Come, they want to do it, huh? They know they're hiding behind lies.
It's comfortable.
It's comfortable to them. Yeah. Go ahead, huh?
And under falsehood have we hid ourselves.
They know exactly what they're doing. So you don't think T.D. Jakes and Creflo Dollar, they know what they're doing, huh? They know what they're doing. See? What's the one down there in Georgia? They dealt with the boys? Eddie Homo. Yeah. They know what they're doing, bro. Okay. So, this shows you that it's not so much that our people, because they don't know their nationality, they in these things in ignorance. They know what they're doing. See? With nationality, without nationality. See? You know right from wrong. See? Plus your spirit bears witness that you know what you're doing is wrong. See? They know it. So now we go into the New Testament, right? Hebrews 8 and 6. And now we're going to show you in the New Testament that when Yahushua, the Mashiach, came, the testament didn't change. The covenant didn't change. The only thing that changed, all right, was, of course, the sacrificial laws. The offering up of animals as a sacrifice. That's pretty much the only thing that changed. Nothing else really changed. See? That's why I always read this scripture, Matthew 5:19, Ashwaka, or whoever gets it fast.
Matthew 5:15.
Just read that real quick, yeah.
All right.
Matthew 5:19. Or is it 17? Yeah.
All right. Matthew chapter 5, verse 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I have not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
I came to fulfill the commandment. And what was the commandment? The covenant, the book of the covenant. I came to fulfill it. See? So where do you think it's okay to do what you want to do? It's okay to break the commandment. God still loves me. No, it's not. See? It's not okay. Most I did not give you a license to sin. It's not okay. I think we got to understand it. Yeah.
Can I give a scripture in response to that?
Yeah, just say the scripture where you're at, real quick. We can move on.
Okay. Real fast. Luke chapter 24, verse 44.
Okay, go ahead.
And he said to them, these are the words which I spake unto you while I was yet with you, that all things must be fulfilled, which were written in the law of Moses, and the prophets, and the Psalms concerning me.
Very good. Now, where was that at? Tell me.
Luke chapter 24, verse 44.
Very good. It's a good scripture. Okay. Hebrews 8 and 6. Somebody get that for me?
Hebrews chapter 8, verse 6. But now hath he obtained a more excellent ministry, by how much also he is the mediator.
Who's the mediator now? Who's the mediator? Yeah, Mashiach. He's the mediator between Israel and the Heavenly Father. All right? He's the mediator. So if you try to bypass the mediator, go to the Most High, is the Most High going to really look at you, answer you, speak to you? There's nothing there. So anybody who's tried to do that, who did they really meet? Some demon. Some demon came and talked to them. But in their minds, they think it's the Most High, but it's a demon. Is it still on?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah. So some demon spoke to them, but it wasn't the Most High. Con? You cannot bypass Yahushua. You just cannot do it. He's the mediator. And he worked to get that position. He sacrificed to get that position, brother. You can't now all of a sudden you're going to bypass him. That's like you not honoring his position. So imagine if you were a supervisor and you worked to be a supervisor, and some guy below you said, I don't want to talk to you. I'm going to go straight to the, understand? So you're not going to like that too much. You're not going to like that too much. Right? So they got to go through you. And then you go to the manager or the CEO or the boss or whatever, let them know what's wrong with, the worker down there, right? Do the same thing here. You got to go through Yahushua. And it's coming to that. It's coming to, we got to respect Yahushua. We have to go through the Mashiach. All right? And so that's the mediator. Go ahead, Shinyan.
But now hath he obtained a more excellent ministry, by how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant.
Yeah, better covenant. See, that word covenant. Again, that word covenant means agreement or contract or commitment that you make. A more better, okay, let's say we use the word covenant, but let's say a more better agreement. So let's say you put the word covenant, you put the word agreement there. See, a more better agreement. See, a more better, commitment. Come? So if you just, covenant, so those words are like synonymous with covenant. Agreement, contract, commitment. See, pledge, promise. They're better promise. All right? Go ahead, Chanel. Which was
established upon better promises.
Better promises. How about that? See? So, Yahushua being the better promise. Come? He's a better promise. He's the better promise more so than a goat or an ox. Do you understand? Come? All right. Now go ahead, read 7.
Verse 7. For if that first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second.
Right. So was the first covenant faultless? I mean, was it faultless? Yeah, it had.
We made it faultless.
Yeah, we made it. Yeah. Well, no, faultless meaning there's no fault in it. But was there fault in it? Who was at fault? The individuals. Yeah. There was nothing wrong with the covenant itself. We're the one who are at fault. Because the scriptures say it cannot make us perfect. Understand? The sacrificing of animals continually cannot make you perfect.
We made those laws against us.
Against us, yeah. Okay. That's why when you read the 10th, Hebrews 10 and 1, real quick, just the 10 and 1. I know I'm going from here to there, but that's the way it has to come out. Hebrews 10 and 1. Write it down like this too, so get in your mind. Go ahead.
Hebrews chapter 10, verse 1. For the law, having a shadow of good things to come.
Now, you hear what they say? A shadow of good things. Why did the law have a shadow of good things? Until who came to make it perfect? Yahushua. See, it was only a shadow of good things back then when Moses gave it to us, because we were still sacrificing animals. We were learning to sacrifice animals. But that was only a shadow of good things to come until Yahushua would make it perfect. So that's why we were at fault. the Most High found fault in us because that wasn't perfect. It didn't make us perfect. We needed something else, a higher, better sacrifice. Come? That's in your house shop. So how you going to bypass your house shop? That's your better sacrifice. Full, how you going to bypass? This is what we're trying to tell the brothers at the moment. How you going to bypass? It can't be done. You can't do it. Or some of these Old Testament Israelites, you cannot do that. Yeah.
Yeah. They say like one of the Old Testament Israelites don't believe in Mashiach Yahushai, or they don't believe in the New Testament because they think that that Yahushai is not the
He's not the Mashiach. Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
This is what they say.
Yeah.
So if the first covenant had been faultless, did you finish? I'm sorry. Read 10 again. Read Hebrews 10 and 1.
For the law having a shadow of good things to come,
So it had a shadow, only a shadow of good things. Go ahead.
and not the very image of the thing.
See? It said not the very image. So who's going to be the very image? It had to be the Mashiach. See? Understand? He's going to be, or going to end up being that very image of the good thing to come. Go ahead, up.
The very image of the good things can never, with those sacrifices,
See, with those sacrifices,
Right.
the bulls, the goats, and all that, see, those sacrifices could not make you perfect. Go ahead.
can never, with those sacrifices which they offered year by year, continually make the comers thereunto perfect.
Yeah. And why wouldn't it make them perfect? This is why. Second verse.
For then would they not have ceased to be offered.
Well, because I sinned. Okay, I can offer up a lamb. Okay, go ahead. Okay, so I'm supposed to be cleared of that sin now, right? Forgiven, everything. But then, wait a minute. And then, because you're in the flesh, you say, wait a minute. Okay, tell me if I sin again, all I got to do is offer up a lamb? Okay, I'll do that again. Okay, offer up that lamb again. Wait a minute, that seems kind of easy. I can get away with this? See what I'm saying? Offer up the lamb again. And so now, thank you, you're talking about millions of people doing the same thing. The Most High say, I'm tired, I can't handle this. Because the sacrifice was only supposed to be like one time. That was the Most High being merciful. Okay? You did your sin, okay, you offered the lamb. But see, you're supposed to learn what from that one time? To learn what? Not to do it again. That was your mercy. Understand? You were pretty much saved through that sacrifice. That was your mercy. Alright? But Israel took advantage of it. We took advantage of that mercy, brother. The sacrificing of animals, we took advantage of it. So do you think the Most High would just keep that going? No. See? So that was only for a certain time period, until the one who was to be perfect would come and make that ultimate sacrifice. See? Yes, so because then it wouldn't have ceased to be offered. You would just keep going, and Israel did that. See? That's why the Most High said, I'm tired of your sacrifices. I do away with your oblations and your sacrifices. Don't even bring them to me no more. Remember he said that? Thinking Amos, don't even bring them to me no more. I'm tired of your high holy. Oh, you got your new moons. I didn't want you to. I don't want to deal with your oblation in your new moons. I didn't even want that. He said, matter of fact, he said, I hate your high holy. I hate you. Most said, I hate it. That's what he said. He's talking to Israel. Huh?
Like, I hate your feast.
Yeah, I hate your feast days. Yeah. So it got that bad with the Most High said, I even hate your feast days. Come on. Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, read it right quick. Tell them where you at.
It's Colossians chapter 2, verse 14. So blotting out the handwritten of ordinances that was against us, which was contrary to us.
Yeah, see? That's not talking about the whole law.
Right.
I know the churches try to convince people that. That's not talking about the whole law. That was talking about the sacrificial laws. That's it.
Right.
See, that was against us.
Right.
Not the whole commandment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What, the bowing down? I can bow down an idol now? Get break. Go ahead, Chanel.
That was against us, which was contrary to us, and took it out of the way, nailing it to
Right.
the cross.
He nailed it to the cross, the sacrifice, because he's the ultimate sacrifice. But someone tells you, oh, idiot religions and churches, that's not talking about the whole law. See? It was only talking about that one. And that's clear in the scripture, that's done away with. That's clear. See? So, that's a good scripture. So add that to it too. Write it down and go add what he says. Tell him where it's at again.
Colossians chapter 2, verse 14.
Very good. And now finish Hebrews 10 and 2.
For then would they not have ceased to be offered, because that the worshippers, once purged, should have had no more conscience of sin.
See? So they would have no more conscience. They're supposed to have no more conscience of the sin. Supposed to. See? But with Israel, they continued to sin. Year by year, day by day, they continued to sin. And then became monotonous. See? That's like your child committing the same thing. You tell him what he did was wrong, and he sees that, understand, but he still does it. See? And here it is, you're 100th, 200th, 300, 1,000 times telling your son, your daughter, the same thing, and they're not getting it. See? Understand? So that's going to get on your nerves, isn't it? Until you do something drastic. See? So the Most High had to do something drastic. Same difference. So go back to Hebrews 8 and 8, Shinya.
Hebrews chapter 8, verse 8. For finding fault with them.
He found the fault with them, and that was the fault. Hebrews 10 and 1 and 2. That was the fault. Understand? Go ahead.
He saith, Behold, the days come, saith the Most High, and I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
I will make a new covenant. See? So that covenant that he established when we were under Moses, and Moses took the blood and sprinkled on everybody, that was the covenant. And we made the agreement. But now, because he found fault with us in that, he's going to establish a new one. And this one's going to be in the Mashiach Yahushua. See? Understand? New what? New agreement. Come? But we just had to go all this way. In captivity, dispersed throughout the whole earth, and under all nations in captivity, go through all this madness, so that this covenant can be reestablished. Because we had to learn. We had to learn. All right? And we were under all nations before too. Read the scriptures. We were under all these nations. But we didn't learn then. We still didn't learn. So we most had to continue it. Yeah. But he had to continue it and be drastic, where he said, I'm going to kick you out of the land. See? Where before we weren't so much kicked out of the land totally. All right? Under the Babylonians, we were, a little bit, but not dispersed over the earth, like we are now. We were dispersed on the nations, but all over, across the seas, across the Atlantic, all over the place. No, we weren't like that. Understand? So they had to most how to take drastic measures so that we can learn. All right. So 9th verse. So it says what?
Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt.
See, that's what you read, Exodus 24. Go ahead.
Because they continue not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Most High.
See, he didn't regard them. The Most High didn't regard us. When the Most High is against you, brother, that's a bad thing. You do not want the Most High, the Mashiach, against you. Understand? Because if the Most High is against you, who's he delivered into your hand? Into you. Whose hand are you delivered into? Satan. Satan, brother. And you don't want to be in Satan's hand. Understand? Satan can bless too. Yeah. Satan blesses. Look at all the blessings that people got through Satan. They think it's the Most High. They think it's the Most High, brother. That's Satan out there. Understand? That's Satan. You talking about you a rap star, you got a $50 billion contract, that's Satan. See? But in their mind, it's what? They think it's a blessing from Heavenly Father. It's not. See? I thank God for this award. Thank you, God. Yeah, okay. It was our God. They gave it. It wasn't the creator of heaven and earth. It wasn't Yahweh.
It's an idol God.
It's an idol God.
It's an idol God.
It's Satan. Yeah. Understand? So that's what that is. So 10 10th verse, you know.
Hebrews chapter 8, verse 10. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Most High. I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts. I will be to them a power, and they shall be to me a people.
Right, see? That would be the new covenant. Reestablished covenant. All right? All right? But this is going to be under Yahushua. Con? All right? And get Hebrews 9:11. Just jump the page and read the 11th verse.
Hebrews chapter 9, verse 11.
Right.
But Yahushua, being come, and high priest of good things to come,
See? A high priest of good things to come. Go ahead.
by a greater and more perfect tabernacle, not made with hands, this is to say, not of this building.
See, not made with hands, but the old tabernacle made with hands, right? Under Moses, right? That tabernacle made with hands. But this tabernacle, not made with hands, not of this building. Okay? It's going to be spiritual. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 12. Neither by the blood of goats and calves, but by his own blood he entered in once into the holy place, having obtained eternal redemption for us.
See? The Mashiach Yahushua. Redemption. See? So the redeeming power is in Yahushua's hand. Nobody else has that. See? Nobody else has the redeeming power. See? Not no political leader. Understand? Not no man that think that because they think in their mind the angel Gabriel came to them and set them up through it. No, it's not going to be no man. It's going to be through the Mashiach. See? It's going to be through the spirit of the Mashiach. Come? Okay, go ahead.
Verse 13. For if the blood of bulls and of goats and the ashes of an heifer sprinkle the unclean sanctifies to the purifying of the flesh.
See, so we read that, right? Then in Exodus 24, the young men brought the offerings and so forth. And that purified the flesh. Because that was a blood sacrifice. That purified the flesh. But if that can purify the flesh, so he's saying in 14 now, how much more? Go ahead, in 14.
How much more shall the blood of Yahushua, who through the eternal spirit offered himself without spot to the Most High, Yahweh, purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living power.
Yeah, see? So his blood is much more on the higher level to purge you. That's why you always go to the Mashiach Yahushua. How you going to bypass Yahushua who did this? How you going to do that? These brothers are crazy. How you going to bypass? We're talking about these Old Testament Israelites who think in that mentality, right? How you going to do that? All right? And another thing, remember, Yahushua is not Jesus. All right? So understand it. That's not Jesus.
That's Zeus.
Okay, that's Zeus. Right. That's Satan. That's all this is, Satan. That's all it is. Right? That's Satan. All right? So even when the church say Jesus and all that, that's Satan. That's not Yahushua either. Okay? So, right.
And they're going to say
right.
His name doesn't matter.
Yeah, right. It does matter.
Yeah.
Okay? Read the 15 verses.
Verse 15. And for this cause, he is the mediator.
See? He is, for that cause, what he did, he's the mediator. You can't take that position away from him. You got a man on the earth, some worm, trying to take Yahushua's position away from him. Because they want it. See? They want the position. This is what the Pharisees and Sadducees did back then too. They said, no, that's the king. Well, we can't let that happen. We can't let that be known that he is the king of the Jews, because in the Romans, they're going to take our position away. See? The Pharisees and Sadducees were saying the same thing. So you don't think that these political Negroes are saying the same thing? They know Yahushua is supposed to come, but they don't want their positions taken away. They sold out. Just like our people did back then. They sold out. Sell out Negro. That's all. See? So you can't take his position as being the mediator is his position. You can't take it. You can't bypass that. You can't come in like a thief. Try to, You can't. You can't. It's not going to work. You can't come in like a thief. Brothers are doing it though. Yeah, they're coming in like a thief. They said, oh, this is Satan. Every now and then one walks through the door trying to come in like a thief. And then it does, and then when, because the spirit of Yahushua is with us, we see it. That's why we had to make certain commandments and say, look, this brother can't come back no more. This brother can't come back. We had to do that. The brothers that know, but we had to do that. See? Sisters too. Brothers and sisters. Certain ones can't come back. Trying to come in like a thief. It ain't going to work. Go ahead, up.
And for this cause, he is the mediator of the New Testament.
See, the mediator of the New Testament. See? Covenant, Testament. New covenant, New Testament. See? What's a testament? Testament is what? Another written testimony, like a written testimony, an agreement. Understand?
Yeah. Many Christians in the church say that we're in the new covenant.
Okay.
We're in the New Testament now.
Yeah.
But if we're in the New Testament, why we have to go through slavery?
Yeah. You're right. How about that? Right. So, but Yahushua brought the Gospels, right? Which is good news. Word gospel means good news, right? The New Testament or the good news is written testimony, right? Because the disciples heard the testimony of the Mashiach. They wrote it down. This is what you have in the Gospels, correct? Con? Yeah. So, but it also means the new covenant. Con? It also means new covenant. Okay? New agreement. See? New Testament, new agreement. Okay? So, we're going to show you. So, go ahead, Shinya, read on.
And for this cause he is the mediator of the New Testament, that by means of death.
See, means of death. Go ahead.
For the redemption of the transgression.
See, the redemption, the redeeming power that he has, and by his death, all right, because of the transgressions. Go ahead.
That were under the first testament.
The first testament, which is what? What testament? The first testament, which is the Old Testament. The transgressions, meaning we broke that the established covenant that we made under Moses, right? Remember? All right, that we read in Exodus 24. Because of that first testament, go ahead, Shinya.
They which are called might receive the promise of eternal inheritance.
Right, see? So Yahushua, because of the fault for breaking the agreement of the Old Testament, the first covenant, he had to bring the New Testament, new covenant, so that we can be redeemed. And we might be called and receive the promise of eternal inheritance. See? So you have to make another agreement to be obedient under this New Testament. Remember that, because we had to do that in the first covenant, right? We had to say, all that the words Moses told us, we will do. Didn't we say that?
Yes.
Now you got to say the same thing in this one too. When are you going to start doing that? See? Understand? But as a nation, we're going to say the same thing. Wait till Yahushua come. We're going to do it. Wait till he come. All the ones that don't, going to be put to death right there, bro. Yeah. And we're going to have a formal military then. With swords. Heads going to roll. Next. Next. Heads are going to roll. Just like that. There's not going to be no talking, no negotiating. Okay, hold up now. No. Chop head off. Because the Yahushua is not negotiating no more. No more negotiating. He's not negotiating. You see Yahushua negotiating the white man? You see negotiation going on? Huh? There's no negotiation, brother. He said, I will take the kingdom. That's it. Take it. No negotiating. So when that time comes, all the ones that don't want to say we will do the commandment in the new covenant, the head's going to fall off. See? Yeah, and Yahushua, he won't give us the command to do it. Right. Yeah.
I have the scriptures in line, like I said, Ezekiel chapter 20.
I know. Write them all down.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because it consumes time.
All right.
I can see if it was one, but write them all down.
All right.
All right, and then 16, Shania.
Verse 16. For where a testament is,
See where the testament is. Go ahead.
there must also of necessity be the death of the testator.
Why? It must be the death of the testator. Because what does it do to the testimony? It makes the testimony what? More what? It gives it force. See, it gives a testimony, and plus it's the sacrifice for that testimony to go forward. You understand? It's a sacrifice. Look, even under the Old Testament, right? Remember that Old Covenant? Even though the animals were sacrificed, but the blood made that covenant of force. See, the Ten Commandments and the Torah, the Tanakh, it made it a force. See? So now Yahushua's testimony, the death of the testator, gives it force. So now the New Testament, you have it. You have the Old and New Testament. The New Testament, you have the Gospels now. He brought the force of it, he brought the spirit of it through his death. And yet, he's not dead, right? He's still alive, right? In the spirit. So, go ahead, Shania.
For a testament is of force after men are dead.
See, after men are dead, go ahead.
Otherwise, it is of no strength at all while the testator is living.
No strength while the testator living. So Yahushua had to do what he had to do. His disciples didn't understand that at first. You know, like, why you got to leave? Why you got to do this? Right? See, but he said it's going to be beneficial for you, for me to be able to do this. See? They didn't see it then. But they seen it afterwards. They understood it. All right? Let's see. Now get, that was 9/11, right? Okay, read to the 22nd. So now keep reading. Go on, read down.
Verse 19. Verse 18. Whereupon neither the first testament was dedicated without blood.
See, the first testament was dedicated with blood. Okay, go ahead.
For when Moses had spoken every precept to all the people according to the law, he took the blood of cows and of goats with water and scarlet wool and hyssop and sprinkled both the book and all the people.
See? And he even put herbs in there and everything. He had the blood, put scarlet wool, with scarlet wool and hyssop. So hyssop is like a cleanser. It's a good herb. And if you're going to clean your body out and strengthen your immune system, drink some hyssop. Right? And so he sprinkled that on both on the book and on all the people. That's what we read in Exodus 24. Come? See? And so it became strength now. The force of that Old Testament and the Old Covenant became a force once it was sacrificed with blood. Go ahead, Al.
Verse 20. Saying, this is the blood of the testament which the Most High hath enjoined unto you.
See? This is the blood of the testament which the Most High had enjoined unto you. That was the Old Testament, right? Remember that? We just read it. 21st verse.
Moreover, he sprinkled with blood both the tabernacle.
The tabernacle was sprinkled with blood. Go ahead.
And all the vessels of the ministry.
Was sprinkled with blood also. They come. Look, we did a lot of sacrificing when you read the scriptures, brother. Okay? A lot. The priests were sacrificing animals every day. See? Not only because of the high holy days and everything, right? But also because of the sins of the people. And the offerings and so forth, and the peace offerings of people every day. Okay? So we knew how to, take a goat or a cow or a lamb or whatever, and kill it and drain the blood and sacrifice the blood and everything. We knew how to do all that stuff. Now we can't do that to save our lives. We got to go to Pathmark. You know what I'm saying? Buy food and all that. But back then we knew how to prepare animals. Right? Of course, these animals were clean animals, according to the dietary law. All right? So that was under the first covenant. We did all that, right? And read the 22nd verse.
And almost all things are by the law purged with blood.
All things by the law purged with blood. Go ahead.
And without shedding of blood is no remission.
There's no remission without sins, of our sins without blood being shed. So now it's the same thing that's going to be applied in these last days. But you're not going to go chase no animal down. It's going to be an individual's blood is going to be shed for you. Somebody else's blood is going to be shed for you. See? That's a high calling. When the Most High kills somebody for you, that's a high calling. And keep you alive and keep you protected. That's a high calling, brother. You may say, oh, that person died for me. Yeah, well, see, it's right. I mean, that's the level that this thing is on. Thousands of our people will be put to death for the chosen, for the ones of us Most High going to save. For you. Okay? And it has to go that way. That's what the Most High called for on the earth. It has to go that way. So you can't change that. See? There's nothing you can do for the hundreds of people getting shot up by the police out there. Because those are sacrifices. You can't change that. See? After they do politically and all that, it's going to come. There's nothing they can do. Understand what I'm saying? Also, politics, Black Lives Matter, well, that's bullshit. That's bull. It's not going to work. See? It's not going to work. So it's going to come because why the Most High ordained it that way. Okay? So 1 Corinthians 11:25. Right quick, I just want to show you. Ashrakah, get 2 Corinthians 3 and 6. Who got 1 Corinthians 11:25?
1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 25. After the same manner also, he took the cup, when he had supped, saying, this cup is the New Testament in my blood.
It's the what?
The New Testament in my blood.
See, the what?
The New Testament in my blood.
Now you could also say New Covenant, right? Con? So when we go to Hebrews 8 and 8, which we read, right? It says New Covenant, right? See? It'll say New Covenant. Hebrews 8, 6 down through 9. It'll say New Covenant. So New Covenant, New Testament is saying the same thing. It just says in the Gospels it'll say New Testament. And then of course you'll also read Covenant also. Okay? So read that one more time.
This cup is the New Testament in my blood. This do ye as oft as ye drink it in remembrance of me.
Okay, so that's it. Now Ashrakah. 2 Corinthians 3 and 6.
2 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 6. Who also have made us able ministers of the New Testament.
Able ministers of what?
Of the New Testament.
There you go. You're an able minister of the New Testament, brother. Go ahead.
Not of the letter.
Not of the letter. Go ahead.
But of the Spirit.
Of the Spirit. See? Not of the letter, but of the Spirit. All right? Because them that worship the Most High must worship Him in spirit and in truth. Okay? Not of the letter of the law, because the letter of the law, we broke that. Then He found fault in us. See? That's why it says, them that are in Yahushua, there's no condemnation, because you serve Yahushua in spirit. Understand? Yahushua know you're going to make your little mistakes and sins and so He knows it. But He says, still go forward and do my work. See? Prophesy, teach. He knows you're going to make your little sins. So that's why He says, because He knows you're going to pray and repent, understand? And ask for forgiveness of your sins. And that you're not going to do that sin no more. Those are the ones in Yahushua. Understand? So, that is what we're supposed to be doing. Jump down Ashrakah to the 14th verse.
Verse 14. But their minds were blinded.
See, their minds were blinded. Go ahead.
For to this day remaineth the same veil untaken away in the reading of the Old Testament.
Right, see? Because we're still under that old covenant, right? So our minds are blinded because we're still under the veil of the Old Testament laws, the Old Covenant. And what was established under the Old Covenant is not working for us anymore. It's not working for us no more. So we have to come to what? The new agreement. Right. We have to come to Yahushua. See where these Old Testament Israelites are still blinded under the old, under the Old Covenant. They're still blinded. Okay, yeah, it's good they keep the laws, some of the laws and so forth, but they're not. But they're blinded. The Most High said, I find fault in that now. There's fault in that. So you got to come to Yahushua under the new covenant. Otherwise, it's not going to work. I don't care what you do. You can have a million Old Testament schools out there. It's not going to work. But it's not going to work. You have to come to the new agreement.
Right.
And our people don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. Because they know they got to change. They got to stop doing what they're doing.
Right.
Yeah, good.
That's why Yahushua had to blind Paul to show him that this is what I'm trying to show you people.
Blind. Yeah, the blind. Right. Good point. See? So read that one more time, Marshall McCall.
Right. Verse 6.
No, yeah, 6:14.
Who also have made us able ministers of the New Testament, not of the leather, but of the Spirit. For the leather killeth, but the Spirit giveth life.
See, the letter killeth, what was under the old covenant, killeth, but the Spirit, which is what? This new agreement. The new agreement is the Spirit in Yahushua. See? That gives life. And then the scriptures come back and say, Yahushua is what? The life and the light and the resurrection. See? So there's no redeeming power unless you come to the new agreement. There's nothing. See? Understand? So so that was good. And then the new covenant, get Jeremiah 31:31 to show you that even in the Old Testament, it tells you he's going to establish this new covenant with us. That's in Jeremiah 31:31.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 31. Behold, the days come, saith the Most High.
The days are going to come. That's future prophecy, right? Go ahead.
I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel.
See, I will make a new covenant. See, with the house of Israel. Go ahead.
And with the house of Judah.
With the house of Judah. Okay, meaning the whole nation. That's what that's talking about. Go ahead.
Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt.
Now, didn't we just read that in Hebrews 8? We just read that in Hebrews 8, right? So it's read in the New Testament, it's read in the Old Testament. Come? So not according to that old covenant that we read in Exodus 24, not according to that, because he found fault in us in that, but according to what, Shania?
I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break.
They broke that covenant. See? We broke the covenant, not the Most High. We broke the covenant. Son, go ahead up.
Although I was an husband unto them.
The Most High looks at us like husband and wife. Israel's the wife, he's the husband. That's how he looks at us. That's close, huh? What's the Most High got to, what more does he got to say? See? So the Most High is saying, Israel, I'm your husband. But we're not acting like a wife supposed to act. We're a disobedient wife. How about that? We're disobedient. We're like a wife who committed whorism. That's what he said. We're like an adulterous wife. That's what he said. We're committed spiritual fornication. We're like an adulterous wife. See? He said, although I was like a husband to her, I married you, Israel. Right? So doesn't a husband and wife make an agreement when they get married? A covenant. A ketubah. They make a covenant. It's called a ketubah. Look it up. So we broke the ketubah. we broke the ketubah. Put it like that. All right. All right. Go ahead. Finish that, Chanel.
I was an husband unto them, saith the Most High. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Most High.
After what days?
After those days. Right.
Yeah, the days that we're in now. After these days, see, meaning the days that we're in now. Meaning we're going to, when the Most High take us out of here and take us to the wilderness, and then Yahweh Shai set everything up back for us, meaning those days. He ain't going to make it with us in America. He got to take us out of here. Do you understand? So after these days, so he going to make this new covenant. Go ahead, Chanel.
Will I make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Most High. I will put my law in their inward parts, and write it in their hearts, and will be their power. They shall be my people.
Right, see? He's going to write the law in our inward parts, in our spirit. He's going to give it to us. It's going to be second nature to us.
Yeah, they got to increase it.
Yeah, it's going to be second. Yeah, it's going to be second nature to us, and we're going to have it in our inward parts. Whereas before, it wasn't so much in us like that. Even though we knew it, but we still broke it. But this time it's going to be like a second nature thing to us. Understand? We're going to keep the commandment. Go ahead, Senor, bring it up.
It's Romans chapter 2, verse 29. But he is a Jew, which is one inwardly, and circumcision is that of the heart,
right,
in the spirit, and not in the letter,
right,
whose praise is not of men, but of the Most High.
Of the Most High, right. See? Because there are Israelites, are people who keep the commandments inherently. They don't know the commandments, but they keep the commandments. It's in their spirit already. Come? It's already in them. It's like it's just part of it. Understand? So there are a lot of our people like that. Understand? But they don't know the law, statutes, so much. But they just have that loving spirit. They just